So thank you very much, my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. On behalf of SCBD Toastmasters, I would like to remind you with some of the house rules before we start our meeting today. So thank you everyone for those who are coming and being on time. And please make sure that throughout the meeting, we would like to see your beautiful and handsome faces so that you will need to ensure that you turn on your camera. But on the other hand, to ensure that our audio and the speaker's voice is audible clearly, please ensure that your microphone is on mute unless that you are given the opportunity to speak. And lastly, be fully present and have fun. Also pay attention and participate actively. And you can also use the chat box wisely to leave any feedback or encouragements to the speakers. And now, would like to give the control to the president of the club, which is also me. So thank you so much. And I would like to ask for your participations to unmute yourself because I would like to hear your euphonious voices, and please greet and repeat after me. Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Yay, thank you so much. And I see some of our familiar faces, including our long lost guest who is now a fellow member in other clubs. Thank you so much. Who is also our GE. And thank you for the guest who is also your first time in any Toastmasters meeting. And maybe you are wondering why we are greeting with the happy morning, because we would like to embody the spirit of waking up in the morning as if that you are feeling fresh and restart and ready to conquer and seize your day. So my name is Garda, currently serving as the president of SCBD Toastmasters. And on behalf of SCBD Toastmasters Club, we hereby welcome you to one of the clubs affiliated to Toastmasters International. And for those of you who are being first time in any Toastmasters meeting, I would like to give sort of information regarding Toastmasters International, as well as what SCBD Toastmasters truly is. So if you have any questions later, just feel free to drop any messages to any of the officers or members of SCBD Toastmasters. But for the time being, sit back, relax, and welcome to SCBD Toastmasters, a place where you can become a better you by striving for progress. So talking about what Toastmasters International, it has been almost a century that has been a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills. And by being a member in Toastmasters International, you can actually connect it to thousands of members across hundreds of countries and thousands of clubs around the globe. And by being a member, you will also receive one of the privileges that will be the access to our educational curriculum or program, so it's called Pathways. Currently, there are 11 paths in Toastmasters International that you can carry on along your journey. If you want to know more about what Pathways truly is, you can ask our club officers. And about SCBD Toastmasters itself, we are affiliated to Toastmasters International under District 87, Division I, and Area I3. SCBD Toastmasters itself is now 16 years old, and we are upholding the spirit of empowering every individual to strive for progress. And this is actually where we would like to embody and to establish a platform where everyone can become a better you. And prior to pandemic, we usually have the physical meeting in our hut at SCBD area in South Jakarta. But during this pandemic, we are shifting our physical meeting to this online meeting by virtual Zoom. And as for this year, SCBD Toastmasters would like to uphold the vision of providing a place where you can become a better you, and how to achieve that. Of course, by empower every individual to strive for progress. And with the values that we still uphold up to this date by being structured, collaborative, bold, and determined, we are ready to provide that kind of platform for you. And simply how to join us by joining our regular meeting every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Jakarta time. And simply if you want to know more about us, You can visit our Instagram at SCBD Toastmasters. Don't forget to follow. And there's a bio available in our, there's a link available in our bio. You can click on the link and click on chat VP of membership, and you will be directed to chat our VP of membership so that you can ask and throw as many as questions you'd like to ask regarding Toastmasters International. Or you can also reach us by email so that we can get back to you later on. So with that being said, I hereby open this meeting by knocking this reflex hammer once. That's the sound, and I hereby give the control to our Toastmasters of the meeting. Toastmaster Melanie, over to you.
So thank you, Toastmaster Garda. Happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Thank you for leaving
Happy
that one.
morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I can morning vibes there. And welcome to SCBD Toastmasters Club. I am Melanie, and I am your Toastmaster of the meeting. As a Toastmaster of the meeting, I will be assisting you to the flow of our meeting today. And one of our members, or maybe our president, will be sharing the agenda in the chat box in a while so that you are informed or aware of the flow and what's happening in our meeting. So today's theme, as you can see on the screen, is speakathon. Speech is power. Do you believe that speech has power? Power. Well, for me, I believe, yes, I believe so. So speech has the power to persuade, to influence, or even force us to do something. And we are actually fortunate today. We will be having a speakathon. And no, not the marathon that we have to run in our place, but we will run a series of speeches, not only the prepared speeches, but also the evaluation speeches. Seems like we will be having a preview or a glimpse of what the speech contest is like. So I will be sharing with you this. In a regular meeting, in a regular Toastmaster meeting, we have the agendas. We have the prepared speech, the table topics, and the evaluation. Both prepared speech and evaluation sessions, only the members can join or can deliver their speeches. But in table topics, even the guest or even the visiting Toastmasters can participate. However, today, we don't have table topics. But in order for everyone to participate in this speakathon, I will be encouraging all of you to share and give your constructive feedbacks to speakers once they are finished with their speeches. So the chat box is send them private message or just share it in our chat box. So our word of the day is hearten. It is a verb. Make more cheerful or confident. Let us use it in a sentence. I tried to hearten my depressed classmate with encouraging words. So I hope and I also encourage you to use the word of the day all throughout your speeches, and I hope that you use it properly. Okay, so today I will not be alone. I will be, someone will be helping me also to lead the meeting, and that will be the evaluation team to be led by General Evaluator. He is coming from Riau Toastmasters Club. Let us all welcome Toastmaster Wilson.
Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie. Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Morning.
Happy
morning.
Yes, I like the spirit. Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie, for the control. And I am really happy to be here. Thank you, Toastmaster Densia, as the Vice President of Education, to welcome me as a visiting Toastmasters and also the General Evaluator for SCBD's tonight's meeting. My name is Wilson, and I will be here to evaluate the meeting as a whole. But in order to do that, I also have specific tasks that I delegate to my team members. So because we are out of time, I mean, not out of time, we are short on time because we will be having a speech marathon. I will just be introducing them slightly. So first of all, one of the team members of Grammarian, the general evaluator, is a grammarian. My bad. The grammarian's task is to evaluate the usage of language. So if he finds a language that he likes, the usage of language that is incorrect, then he will be evaluating it at the end of the meeting. So our grammarian is Toastmaster Yusuf Putra. Can you say hello for us?
Happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning. Thank you so much for your introduction. So let us move on to the next team member of the general evaluator. Next, in order for us to easily evaluate how our performance goes, we have the and word of the day counter. If you wonder, in speeches, we are usually nervous. And in order to combat that nervousness, when we stuck on our speech, we usually use the filler words like and then maybe they will repeat words such as, just like what I did. So I would like to welcome Toastmaster Tika as our word of the day counter. Please say hello to us.
Hey, happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning. Happy morning. Happy morning, guys.
Good morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Thank you so much.
Tika.
In addition to the filler words counting, she will also be counting the usage of the word of the day, which is the hurten, as explained by our Toastmaster of the meeting before. Now, let us move on. We also have a ballot counter. In Toastmasters, it is our culture for the members and guests alike to vote for our favorite speakers, favorite prepared speakers, favorite evaluators, and favorite table topic speakers. Although in this meeting, we will be having only 2 ballot counting. So let us welcome our ballot counter, Toastmaster Densia. Toastmaster Densia, please say hello to us.
Happy morning, everyone.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Good morning.
Excellent. Thank you, Toastmaster Densia. And then the last but not least, we have a time management security. No, actually calling him a security is too much. So basically what he does is to evaluate our time management. We usually have a set of range when we want to deliver our speech, a minimum of 5 minutes or 7 minutes at maximum, for example. And then this role as a timer will help us manage our time. But this time, I will not be introducing them myself. I will let him introduce himself. So let us welcome Toastmaster Wira.
Happy morning, everybody. Thank you, Badi.
Happy morning.
I will be your timer for today. So let me share my screen first. So basically, I will time your speech. First of all, there will be no table topic, as the GE said. So there will be just prepared speakers and evaluation speakers. So the first speaker will be, and the first type of speech will be icebreaker, ranging from 4 minutes to 6. If your speech has reached 4 minutes, I'll turn my background to green. 5 minutes, I'll turn it to yellow. And 6, I'll turn it to red. And then you have the regular prepared speech, which 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red. And finally, evaluation speech, 2 minutes until 3. 2 minutes green, 2:30 yellow, and 3 minutes red. And one thing to note, when you see the red background, wrap up your speech in 30 seconds. Otherwise, you won't be eligible to be voted as the best speaker for tonight. That's all from me. Back to you, GE.
Ooh, thank you, Toastmaster Wira, for the wait. Okay, I'm not muted. Thank goodness. Thank you, Toastmaster Wira, for the comprehensive explanation about what a timer does. So that wraps up the teammates of the general evaluator. So when they have completed the specified tasks, I will be here to generally evaluate the meeting. And my most important role is to give feedback on the SCBD Toastmasters meetings so that we can all together improve in our next meetings. So that will be all from me. I give the control back to you, Toastmaster Melanie. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wilson and your team. So I hope that everyone listened to our introduction this morning earlier. So I would like to ask something. What is the word of the day? Can you please type it down in the chat box? 5, 4, 3,
Hearten.
2, 1. Thank you. But next time, follow my instructions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's hearten. So try to hearten our speakers today by listening to what they say or to their speeches and by giving them feedbacks. So we will be starting our prepared speech session. I'm so sorry. So let's have the following. We will be having 8 speakers today. So we have Toastmaster Rini, Agung, Toastmaster Agung, Toastmaster Mahar, Toastmaster Alfin, Toastmaster Sonny, Toastmaster Yanda, Toastmaster Bonaventure, and Toastmaster Aki. So I'm grouping them based on their projects. So for our first 3 speakers, they will be delivering their icebreaker speech. So for those experienced already, you know what icebreaker speech is. So the purpose of this speech or the project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of speech. So I will calling them one by one and I will call their titles as well. So their evaluators will be giving them the evaluation later. So let us call our first speaker. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Rini. Okay, wait, sorry. There, so let us all welcome Toastmaster Rini. Terms and conditions apply. Terms and conditions apply. Toastmaster Rini.
Happy morning, everybody, and thank you, Toastmaster Melanie, for the introduction. Okay, my fellow Toastmaster, yeah, this is my first time on to deliver the speech in Icebreaker, and I feel so glad being here together with you guys to learn about to improve my public speaking skill. Then I have to agree that the speech of the power must hearten me to influence others too. So I'm really glad to be part of you guys. So today I will tell you a story back then when my experience when I become a first time people manager. Yeah. At that time I was hired by a fintech to be a people manager, which I don't have experience before. So at first I feel so excited to get this role. After that, I get stressed. What will I do with these people? I don't know how to treat them. I don't know how to manage them. I don't know. I don't have clue. So 1 month after I joined the team, they start drama. Yeah. And politics and so many conflicts there. And I get confused how to solve this problem. So I meet my friend to share about my problem. So I tell my friend that I have a problem. I don't know what to do with my team. Yeah, every day we have drama, every day we have problem, and I don't know how to resolve. My friend tell me that, do you remember back then when we go to a restaurant that have this promo sign, 50% discount if you're using Visa card. And then we go to the restaurant, we eat, we order fancy foods. Hey guys, this is discount 50%. Let's enjoy the food, okay? And after that, we pay to the cashier. And this is the best moment happened in my life. So the cashier said that the discount only apply for certain food. You can see the small star sign at the flyer, right? So it only apply with some applies for some food. Okay, it's not all. Then my friend said, we both know we need to check first in anything. So come back to your problem is, have you checked your team? You know that your team didn't come with the terms and condition applied on their forehead, how to do the job with them, right? So try to explore your team. First is, I'm sorry, am I audible?
Earlier you weren't, but
Yes.
now you are.
I'm sorry. Okay, okay, okay. So my friend said that I need to check with them. Okay. After you check, then you start with clear expectation. What do you want them to do? Why they need to do this and how to help them to do their job. You have to be there, part of them, and help them, not only asking them to do the job. Okay, then I notice. Yes, because in my experience, my boss tell me to do this and I tell my team to do this and they don't know why should I do this. Just do it because we need to do that. Okay, that's not a leader. Okay, as a leader, you have to be able to walk the talk. Yeah. For example, you have rules, then you have to follow it. You have terms and condition apply with the team, then you the one who has to be their role model. So do not making excuse because I'm your boss, I can do anything, right? So the most important thing, back again, you need to be their role model. Show them you care about them. Show them if they don't have any skill, you can coach them, mentor them, develop them, and together achieve the goals that have been created at the first. I think that's all, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rini, for that beautiful speech. You reminded me that whenever I meet people, yes, what do you call that? Terms and conditions apply written on their foreheads. And thank you for that one. And since she's delivering an icebreaker today, our what do you call that? Our culture is to give her a round of applause. And everyone, can you please unmute your microphone?
Congratulations, Miss Rini.
Congratulations.
Yes. First time,
Congratulations.
Toastmaster Rini. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Speaker speech. Now let's go to our next speaker. Toastmaster Agung. So let us all welcome Toastmaster Agung. Be consistent. Be consistent, Toastmaster Agung.
Thank you, TM Melanie. Happy morning, everyone.
Happy
morning.
Happy
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope you guys are fine and stay healthy. All right, let me start my speech. Okay. 2020 is one of the best years in my life so far. I understand that some of you guys might think that I am crazy or would not agree with me. Wait, don't get me wrong. I lost my job last year. However, 2020 is the year of change, at least for me, because I could do something that I never wanted to do before, even though those are very beneficial for my own life, such as working out, running, and yoga to be more specific. I lost my weight around 10 to 12 kilograms. You can imagine how happy I was, and it could hurten my days. And finally, last year, I got my biggest accomplishment with getting this medal from running race. I felt like I am the true champion here. Okay, the true champion here. Please keep in mind that I'm not the best finishers, okay? But overall, I'm so proud, and this is one of the proudest moments in my life. As time went by, the year 2020 has left me. I skipped running many times. In result, in June and July this year, I never did any workout at all. Then I started to rethink why I came back to the year before 2020 and I skipped this new habit, the positive one. Then I figured out two mistakes that I've done. First, I failed to set up schedule on my calendar, on my Google Calendar, and also set up alarm on my phone so that I was not getting reminder. The second mistake is I had no goals. Knowing that I already got this medal, I thought it was enough, and I was not so pumped to gain my stamina, my endurance, and so on. Same case with joining Toastmasters. I never tried to establish public speaking skill, or I never dared to myself to speak in front of an audience, and it must be in English. Never. Although I know and understand that this skill is very beneficial to my life, especially to my professional life. If one day I got a job that require public speaking skill or communication skill in English, then I would know what I have to do, right? Okay, right now I am so motivated and I have goals that I need to achieve, same like when I started my running program. But I do not want my past mistakes happen to me again, like in my past running program. In order for me to be successful on my public speaking journey, or to getting much more accomplishments, I need to be consistent, right? I need to be consistent like how I got this medal. Then I will create a schedule on my Google Calendar, on my phone. I will set an alarm so that I will be always reminded. All right, now, the most important message I want to share with you guys tonight, that I will not give up on myself, especially knowing I have you, my fellow Toastmasters, as my support system. I believe that you guys are the best alarm clock in this club, so that I will not be struggling on my consistency, and I am ready to grow with you guys together. Now, please kindly unmute yourself and give me the support by saying fighting.
Fighting.
Fighting!
Thank you so much, guys. Wish me luck on my public speaking journey, and back to you, dear Melanie.
Fighting! Toastmaster Agung, thank you for that wonderful speech. And it's another icebreaker speech that we just heard. Go.
Yay!
Okay, you already know what to do. Let's give them a round of applause.
Yay, congratulations.
Makasih. I'm hearing Bahasa Indonesia there. But thank you, Toastmaster Agung. And you reminded me about the working out and the happy feel to actually achieve your goal. So thank you for that one. Now let's proceed to our speaker. But wait, before I go to our third speaker, I think my friends here are not following my instruction. What should you do after every after speech? You should share and give feedbacks to our friends, our speakers today. So please flood the chat box with your feedbacks rather, or you can send it privately to the speaker. Thank you. Inhale, exhale. I need yoga. So third speaker is none other than our new member, also Toastmaster Mahar.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us all welcome Toastmaster Mahar. Cat person or dog person? Cat person or dog person? Toastmaster Mahar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie. Do you know how many households in America owning at least one dog? And how many households owning cat? There are 50 million households owning at least one dog, and 35 million households owning cat. I believe the figure in Indonesia also there are huge number of households owning dog or cats. My fellow Toastmasters and guests, my name is Mahar, and today I'm going to tell you about my story and relationship with my furry friends. I was born and raised up in a family who has a fondness for dog. I remember when I was little until I grew up, I always had a dog as my companion, and sometimes some dogs even as my guardian, because they tended to be very possessive and protective, meaning that they could attack my friends when they tried to attack me, even though they were just kidding. Having dogs beside me also could hearten myself when I was feeling blue. I also grew up with a thought that cat has a virus that can cause illness for human, and knowing that cat usually do their business in their litter box, which I feel that they might step, excuse my language, into their poop, which then will be leaked by them, so that the poop might spread all over their body. So with that thought inside my head, I used to look at a cat with a sense of disgust. After I left my parents' house and moved to other city, I don't have a dog anymore because I live in an apartment which don't allow dogs. But until approximately 2 months ago, when the lockdown was declared by government, my friend asked me to temporarily look after his cat since he was overwhelmed with his other cats, which recently delivered kittens. At first, I was hesitant, but on second thought, I was thinking that I should find a new hobby after failing with gardening. And also I had to give up all the outdoor activities that I liked during this lockdown. Initial arrangement at the time was I only take care of his cat for 1 month. Having this cat, her name is Chloe, by the way, has opened my eyes on how cute, playful, but on the other hand, naughty that a cat can be. I also found out that cat purring can calm me down, and having this cat beside me can also hearten myself and give me much needed oxytocin, the feel-good hormone that is needed during this rough time. I suddenly fell in love with this cat, something that I have never imagined before. People said that you are either dog person or cat person because each of them have different personality traits. Dog person tend to be extroverted, high energy, rule following, and structure, while cat person tend to be introverted, low energy, non-conformist, and open. My career as a banker for more than 10 years also skewed me toward the dog person personality. But on the other hand, I also recognize that I have some cat personality inside me, which means that I'm not an extrovert nor introvert. So I'm an ambivert, which is a good thing, according to a webinar I recently participated. Now, if I were asked whether I'm already converted to a cat person, to be honest, I don't know the real answer. I think I am no more of a cat person rather than a dog person. But a few days ago, I took a quiz regarding whether you are a cat or dog person. And the result, guess what? I'm still a dog person, even though I was answering the quiz while petting my cat on top of my laps. So at the end of the day, I realized that even your personality is unable to prevent you from loving these cuteness overloads. That's a little story about my furry friends. Have a good day. Thank you.
Meow, meow, ow, ow. Congratulations, Toastmaster Mahar, for your icebreaker speech. And everyone, unmute your microphone.
Congratulations.
Toastmaster Mahar.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations to Master Mahar. What I got from your speech is, I remember this saying, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. I don't know if it still holds true, but yeah, during pandemic, we are having our, friends turns to animals already now, the cats and the dogs. So yeah, thank you for that icebreaker speech to Master Mahar. So inhale, exhale. So I believe that all of you listened to our icebreaker speeches today. So to test your listening skills, can I ask questions? And please write your answers in the chat box. Again, yeah, you type it in the chat box. Do not shout it, kid. So let's have the first one. What is the best thing happened to Toastmaster Agung? Just one word, it's fine. I will understand that. What is, wait. Well, yeah, okay. He actually said about the medal. The best thing happened to him was receiving that medal from Port Virtual 2020, if I read it properly from his medal. And what is the name of Toastmaster Mahar's cat? Toastmaster Aryo. Very good, thank you. And we have Hira and Toastmaster Sonny there. And the last question is, this is from Toastmaster Rini. How many discount will the Visa card give her if she purchased some food from that store? Up to how many percent? Wow, nice. You are all listening. And congratulations to everyone. That's 50% discount. But next time we have to check the terms and conditions. So we're actually done with the first three speakers and delivered the icebreaker speeches. Now we will be having, can you see that? So our next speakers will be delivering their project 2A, which is evaluation and feedback. What is evaluation and feedback? So the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. So I will be checking first the audibility and the visibility of these two members. Toastmaster Alfin, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so let us all welcome Toastmaster Alfin. Wait, I remember your title again. Let us all welcome Toastmaster Alfin. Start with no and with yes. Start with no and with yes, Toastmaster Alfin.
Happy morning, my 40 fellow Toastmasters.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Thank you. My name is Alfin. I'm a recovery manager from Independent Bank. Independent Bank? Independent means mandiri. So, Bank Mandiri. I manage debtors. Sorry for daddy jokes. So I work to manage debtors who fail to meet their payment schedule. Most of the time, every day, I have to find solution for these debtors. And most of the time, I do it by selling collaterals like factory and buildings. So I need to find a potential investors. Another most of the time, I get list phone number of stranger investors. One thing I need to do is cold call. For those who don't know what is cold call, it means calling someone you never know, completely strangers. I do cold call like this. Is this Mr. Rich? Yes, of course I'm rich. How are you? What? You care? And I'm following up my own questions. You must be healthy, right? Yes.
Can I have your time? Time. Okay. I have asset in this area and it is blah, 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 blah. And I explaining every features and benefits I can remember to him. And he is like, huh? Oh. And I'm coming with my final questions. Are you interested to buy? I will talk to my college first. I will let you know. Thank you, Mr. Rich. See you later. And never heard anything from him ever. This becomes a routine for me for a period of time. The burden gets higher, I become lazy and procrastinate to call. One day, I become heartened and decide to think. These investors saying yes to all my answers, except the very important one. Aha! What if I do the opposite? The opposite. Is this Mr. Richard? No, I'm the richest. I'm sorry. Is it a bad time to talk? Oh no, it's okay. What is it? And at this point, I skip the small talk and get into my point very quickly. I get your phone number from my college, Mr. Son to be rich, that you seek information for my asset in the Z City area. Yeah, we want to rebuild our factory in that city, and we have trouble to find a correct person to ask. Correct person to ask? Yeah, we get random people and finally we get you and blah, 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 blah. And the rest is history. I make the biggest sale in the last May and June. I sell one power plant in Borneo and a factory in Bandung. What I get here? I increase my talk time from under 30 seconds into around 5 to 10 minutes. What I do differently? By changing my yes-oriented questions into no-oriented questions. Tell me, when is the last time you feel safe when you're saying yes? Let's see this again. Mr. A? Yes. Can I have your time? Time. Okay. You want credit card? I cannot hear your voice. I found that people tend to feel unguarded when saying yes. Like in the court, saying yes can lead you to jail, like this. Are you Mr. Thief? Yes. Do you thief? Yes. Go to jail. And by saying no, people tend to feel safe. Let's see this again. Can I borrow your money? No, I don't have money. My money is safe. Let's twist this question a little bit. Do you mind if I borrow your money? Of course not. There you go, buddy. Take my wallet then. And what's going on his head? I'm feeling safe from being bad people. I'm generous. And finally, I come to a conclusion that I'm okay by getting yes, by getting no for all my questions, unless if it leads to an important yes. Feeling a little awkward? Good. That means you learned something new. Go try it with some strangers in the street or the waiters in the Starbucks, people in Bumble, Tinder. Start with no and with yes. When you face the awkward, you will get the reward. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alfin. I really enjoyed your speech. And as a customer, I should start with the yes and with the no, because I think this is what the salespersons do in the malls whenever they are offering something. And sometimes I end up with a yes. So yes, Toastmaster Alfin with that one. So let us continue our speakathon with our fifth speaker, Toastmaster Sunny. Are you ready? Yes. Can we check your audio and also, yeah, your audio?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Are you ready?
Inshallah.
So Toastmaster Sonny, embark and execute. Embark and execute Toastmaster Sonny.
Guys, look at me. I have a dice, and this is a normal dice. Special in this heartening moment. I hope that you don't mind to help me to predict and guess what number will appear between 1 to 6. And you can share your prediction on the chat box. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready?
Seriously? Ready?
Let's begin. My prediction is 6. How about yours? Come on, show me on the chat box. I gave you 3 seconds. Yeah, I have a lot. 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. Now, let me see the result. The lucky number 4. And I don't think so I found the winner. But yes, don't worry. Yeah, he's the winner, Toastmaster Aryo. Congratulations, you did a great job prediction. And for others, don't be sad. It is just an illustration. My fellow Toastmaster, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, from that illustration, I assume that our prediction is a thing that we are really admiring. In fact, not all what we want always can be reached. Sometimes we have to encounter several unpredicted things, such as disappointment, fear, obstacle, pain, and trouble as the consequences from what we have done. But sometimes I have a question. Can we avoid them? Or can we stay away from that pain? Now, we find out the answer. Imagine the single dot up to 5 as the trouble, as the pain, and 6 as our goals. Put them all together. Just wait and see. When somebody inquires, can I reject and deny this pain? Then I would answer, yes, you can. But remember, you will never get 6 if you never throw the dice. For not throwing the dice, maybe will help us to avoid from any trouble. But in the same time, we are losing an opportunity to get our goals. When we decided to do nothing, that was 100% failure, even before we start to execute. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone agrees that in order to achieve something, we need to make an action. In every action taken, we'll have a risk as the learning process. For example, when you want to be a good swimmer, maybe you will drowning several times in the beginning as the learning process. Or if you desire To be a great speaker, perhaps you will sacrifice your budget to pay any course, or you will invest your time for joining in several communities, such as SCBD Toastmaster. Is that true, Toastmaster Melanie? I think undoubtedly. And for me, deciding to embark any action is not piece of cake. All embrace and shy to make any mistake, occasionally restraining my step and block my intention to move forward, and sometimes make me hesitate to reach my goals. Nevertheless, to overcome that problem, I usually start with the smallest thing that probably I can do. For instance, joining in SCBD Toastmaster is not my, how to say, it's not my, it's an other movement after tons of tiny actions in the past. Beforehand, I used to speak up in front of my soldier, but in Bahasa, delivering several presentations in military headquarters, also in Bahasa. Until one day, since I found Toastmaster, another small step was still ongoing. For example, watching several Toastmaster videos on YouTube channel, attending on virtual meeting, and taking role taker. Until finally, for the first time, I delivered my icebreaking in English. That was a great movement, which is began from the small action. My fellow Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, we may not be able to finish all of the race, but we can control it. When we decide to use this cube as an analogy and place our goals on the 6 dots, it means that we have only approximately 16% chance to get our goals, with more than 80% to get lost. Whereas, actually, with the proper exercise and well preparation, we can reduce the risk and diminish several obstacles while enhancing the opportunity to get our goals. That's why, from that reason, I decided to change this analogy from this to this coin. And now we have equal opportunity between our success and our failure. Back to you, Toastmaster Melanie. Thank you.
I'm having a headache, Toastmasters. So if you're a soldier, a magician, a statistician, or whatever, but thank you for endorsing SCBD Toastmasters Club in your speech as well. And well, I really thought that you would be showing us a magic trick earlier. And I love your advice. You will never roll or your 6 if you will not draw the dice. Thank you, Toastmaster Sonny. So I hope that fellow Toastmasters and guests would give the feedback for our other speakers as well. Okay, so now we're going to our next set of speakers. So our next speakers will be delivering their level 2 project 1. These are both understanding communication style. So the purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of intentional and intentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or he, because they are both men, uses nonverbal communication when delivering a speech. So Toastmaster Yanda, are you ready?
Yes, am I audible, Toastmaster Melanie?
Yes, you are audible, but I cannot see you. You're there. So let's add a spotlight there. Okay, so I will introduce you first. Okay, so let us all welcome Toastmaster Yanda, my choleric boss. My choleric boss, Toastmaster Yanda.
All right, thank you, Toastmaster Melanie. Has anyone ever experienced always be wrong in front of your boss or supervisor. Actually, this situation is happening to my friend in my office. But for me, back in 2010, I had the similar experience. When my branch manager was like, sorry to say, a pain in the ass, because he always have a way to complain and to criticize my work. Something like, hey dude, your work pace is slow. You know you can do better than this, and I deserve better than this. At that time, I was so stressed. I was so depressed on how to turn the situation. I was thinking hard how to turn the table and win the situation. And then luckily, one of my best friends came to me and gave precious advice. He said, Yanda, why don't you try to perceive the situation from psychology point of view? I said, what do you mean? He said, why don't you try to understand your boss from his personality type? You can go and read lots of psychology books and start from there. And then I thought, I think that's a good idea. And I did. I dive deep quite enough psychology book and references. Then I became familiar with the terms choleric, sanguine, phlegmatic, and melancholic. Then I instantly can spot my boss as a choleric person. Just for your information, a choleric person is usually defined as a goal-oriented, as a goal-driven person. Very savvy, very analytical and logical, but unfortunately, not so much of a friend. Means what? If you happen to be his subordinate, never ever have expectation to establish a friendship with him. He only recognize employer and employee relationship. Okay, that's it. But at that time, I felt there's something missing, because understanding one's personality type is one thing, but to be able to communicate effectively with him, that's another thing. Then I end up with another knowledge, which is communication style. Then I found the classification of being direct, supportive, initiating, and analytical. Instantly, spontaneously, I can spot that my choleric boss has this direct and analytical type of communication style. So, while me, myself, who has strong point in supportive, then my lowest rank is initiating. I found the struggle how to adjust myself in order to fulfill my boss' expectation. Then I come up with the knowledge that whenever we deal with a person who has direct and analytical type communication style, never ever over-explaining or repeating ourselves in front of him. Focus on solutions, provide details when asked, and then present information in an organized manner. And surely be prepared with an answer whenever it comes with the questions. Okay, that's something pop up in my head. This is actually the solution. By understanding someone's personality type, we need to also to understand about his communication style. So at that time, the solution, the problem is solved, and I apply this idea or this pattern in my future whenever I encounter difficult person. So basically, in the end of the time, there is no such a thing as difficult person. Yeah, the key to win and to influence people started with the success to master our own personality and our communication style. Because by mastering our communication style, then we can adjust our style while dealing with other people. That's it for me. Over to you, Toastmaster Melanie. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yanda. You reminded me in your first question, your introduction about your boss criticizing your work. That person in my life is actually my sisters. They always criticize my works, and I hope that we also handle those people who criticize our works constructively as well. Thank you, Toastmaster Yanda. So our next speaker is coming from Misompuru Toastmasters Club. So Toastmaster Bonaventure, are you ready? Can you please say hi so that I hear your audio?
Yes, hi. Yes.
Happy morning.
Yeah.
So
Happy morning. Happy morning.
let us all welcome Toastmaster Bonaventure. Is it left or right? Is it left or right, Toastmaster Bonaventure?
Do I go left? All right. What do I do? Were the questions asked after Misompuru Toastmasters Club was chartered in June 5th, 2021. Left is the 21 charter members, and right is to achieve President Distinguished Club Award. To do this is to communicate the 5 goals to the Misompuru members. Easier said than done, especially now during this pandemic era. Peter Drucker provided me with the solution when he said, the most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. Greetings, distinguished Toastmasters, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The 5 goals I need to communicate to my Misompuru members are: first, to get 6 members to complete level 1, 2, 3, and 4 by December. The second, to get 5 of our EXCO members to attend round 1 TLI and round 2 TLI. The third thing is to get Secretary Julie Singau to start her DTM pathway project by November this year, 2021. Fourth is to get 10 new members into Misompuru Club by December. And last, the 5th one, all our 21 charter members to pay the full 2021-2022 membership fees by this year. On one end are the 5 goals. On the other hand, the 21 members, how do I link them? With communication. How do I do this? Facial expression. Facial expression in this pandemic is very important. We need to constantly communicate with all the members and cascade to them the 5 goals that Misompuru, our club, has to achieve the DCP goals. And when we are doing facial expression, this can only be brought into the members when we do video calls and Zoom meetings. There's no more physical visits or physical meetings, so we have to do video calls and when we do video calls and Zoom meetings, this is a time when our facial expression is very important. The second is eye contact. And this can only be achieved by way of video calls and as well as Zoom meetings. And we, as the president of my club, have to constantly and consistently have eye contacts with all our 21 members. Last but not least, we have to have the voice. And the only way we can send our voice to our members is by WhatsApp and personal calls. By hearing my voice, then only they will be able to convince themselves that it is achievable. Now, coming back to the 5 goals. First, to get the 6 members to complete level 1, 2, 3, 4 by December. As of today, we have 4 who has already achieved level 1, completed level 1. For goals number 2, for the 5 excos to go and attend round 1 of level or TLI, we have done that. So we have achieved goal number 2. The third goal, to get my secretary, Jolina Singau, to do her DTM project. She is and has done and activated a DTM pathways in Toastmasters International. For the 4th goal, 10 members, new members to come into Misampuru. As of today, we already have our first member and 2 more coming by next month. The 5th goal, we achieved it because when we were chartered, all of our members paid their dues in full when we started off. Let me summarize. With the facial expression, the eye contact, and the voice that I cascade and bring to our 21 members, I was able to bring the 5 goals close together with the 21 members and let them come together and make this distinguished president, distinguished club award a reality, and that is going to be by December this year. Let me end with this quote by Mae West. I speak 2 languages, body and English. So it is always important that our body language, but in this pandemic, facial expression, eye contact, voice was the body language. With that, back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bonnet. And you actually you hearten my VPM heart to push through our goals also this year. And indeed, facial expressions is very important. That's why we encourage to turn on your camera, because it's only through your facial expressions that we get reactions, your reactions are talking. So inhale again, Melanie, and exhale. So our last speaker for the night, well, we have indeed a lot of interesting topics. Oops, I hope that you're seeing this. He will be delivering level 3 project 1, understanding resolution. And the purpose of this project is for the member to develop or enhance his understanding of the steps and strategies to address conflict. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of his experience learning about and or conflict. So, Toastmaster, ready?
Hello, am
Hello?
I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Oh, wait. Okay, so let us all welcome Master Raki, the language of conflict resolution. The language of conflict resolution, Toastmaster Raki.
All right, thank you so much, Toastmaster Melanie. Life is a roller coaster with so many ups and downs. There are so many conflicts that come in between. In my opinion, conflict is not always something that makes us afraid. Conflict is also about challenge to become better. Several months ago, I faced the conflict that is very crucial, literally crucial, because it's connected to our company value. The conflict ran like a snowball. It was very impactful to us. Some people talk about our company case in the social media without willingness to listen to our sides of story. They just want to hear from the other side. I was thinking deeply for several days until I decided to communicate with that person who made some noise on social media. During the conversation, she threw so many arguments on the table. It was so hard having a decent conversation there. But I just listened without any interrupting. After she finished explaining the problem, I then realized what's the roots of conflict. The conflict started because of some comments on social media. Then several people on my company made some jokes about her and she couldn't accept it. At the end, I knew that the best way to solve this conflict is by apologizing. And then I told her, I'm sorry, and that's the end of it. I realized this is a power of communication. You can do the good things, but you can also do the bad things. In a conflict situations, sometimes we just need to listen more what other people want to say because everyone loves to be heard. Listen by not only using your ears, but also your heart. So the output from that is empathy. Last night, I just watched a video on YouTube. The video talked about conflict resolution on that video. The speakers talk about vocab. Let me tell you about that. Vocab teach us to speak responsibility, how we can responsible in our conflict, then create a change. Vocab start with V. V means vulnerability. Our willingness to let ourselves be seen. I take off my armor of justification and defensiveness. It disarms our conflict, but creates potential to connect instead to fight. And then the next is O. O means ownership. Taking accountability for own needs, emotions, and choices. Take the conflict as mine. The beauty of ownership is I can look my choices and emotions that I can make a map of contribution. So I can see exactly the direction and then the alternative directions as the option. Like I took it several days to talk with her in my case. And then the third is C. C means communication. We have to learn to ask, listen, and express. We have to start asking questions to understand the surface of the conflict to help us understand the emotions and needs after that. I listen what really matters I listen, not only use my ears, but also heard to hear the request for change. Then from that can create empathy. And then the next is A. A means acceptance. Embracing reality and letting go of what we can control. There's very little that we can control on a conflict. We never could to control other people's emotion because emotion come with their permission. The one that we can control in a conflict situation is what other people say. So I accepted that as a consequence from what happened. And then the last, B. B means boundaries. Let other people know the limitation. It's really important because everyone has their own limitation. As a captain, I always make it to my team on the office to respect each other. The output of that is trust. And let me close my speech with this quotes. It's hard, but worth it to always try it until you fluent on that. I think that's all. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Master Raki. So the power of communication, not to really avoid conflict, but to resolve conflict. Thank you. Thank you for. So we're done with the 8 speakers or speeches this evening. So are you still okay, everyone?
Okay.
No more.
Happy
Okay.
morning.
Oh, yes, happy morning. You still have that happy morning spirit. So
Still with you.
yes, I'm still okay. I'm
Happy
just
morning.
overwhelmed with a lot of topics, very insightful, very informative that these speakers provided us tonight. Okay, so we are done with the 8 speakers. So may I have the timers report? Are all the speakers eligible to be voted? Toastmaster?
Unfortunately, only Toastmaster Bonaventure that's not eligible. Everybody's eligible except Toastmaster Bona.
Okay, so let's have our ballot counter. Toastmaster Dentia. So the timers report. Chat,
Sure. We'll send the link in the chat box soon.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster. So while waiting for the link, let us call Toastmaster Andika for the photo up. Toastmaster Andika.
Thank you, Tom, Melanie. So now I saw half of my screen are on. I mean, the videos are on, but then, oh, now it's going to be the 4th, 6th. So we have 40 here. So please, please, please open your video because I think this is the first speakathon that I have ever attended in SCBD. So please make sure that your face is there. So guest Linda, Toastmaster Yala, DTM Yusuf, guest Paxia, guest Anita, please. So within 5 seconds, I'm waiting for you to turning on your video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's do 3 poses, everybody. First pose, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. Oh, we have a visitor here. So yeah. Okay, second pose, 3, 2, 1. One more. Oh, I love to see your different expressions. And then the last pose, 1, 2, 3. Back to you, Tom.
Toastmaster Andika. Okay, so that's it. We're done. Okay, let's end the meeting now. No, I'm just kidding. So for us to improve for our next speech, having our evaluation team to give us their feedback. So let us call upon this virtual stage, our general evaluator, Toastmaster Wilson, to lead the evaluation session. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Melanie. Good evening, everyone. Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Happy morning.
Excellent. Even though it's at night, but this speakathon has been a great experience. But even though this is a speakathon, I also experienced being a listen son, where I had to listen 8 speeches consecutively. So that makes us listening to a lot of speeches at the same time. No, not at the same time. But whew, that was a really challenging moment for me as I have struggled in listening. And I'm sure that maybe some of you also have a problem. So without further ado, now that we have already listened to 8 prepared speeches, so we have 8 prepared speeches. Now we will be going to listen to 8 evaluations. Is everyone excited? If everyone is excited, then please type 1, type 2, type everything in the chat box. I would like to see your enthusiasm. Oh, a lot of people are still enthusiastic. Meanwhile, I'm the only one here who's a bit tired of listening. Oh my goodness, I'm so shameful. Okay, now first, let us welcome our first evaluator. Earlier, we listened to a speech. When I took a look at the title, I was like, so this is the thing that I really hate to read when I'm buying a new thing. So let us welcome Toastmaster Dewey, evaluating Toastmaster Rini. Toastmaster Dewey, please, her turn, your speech deliver. Yeah, deliver.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes.
So I just want to congratulate Toastmaster Rini for completing your very first speech in Toastmasters. Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah, it's quite insightful. To be honest, I got 3 X's plus. Thank you for sharing that compact tips in managing people. I can summarize that you give 3 ways to manage people. First, expect, to explain and execute. I feel like really want to apply it on my daily basis. Plus number 1, you bring your personal story. It's quite engaging and I enjoy it, especially when you try to explain how you fail to get that discount. And plus number 2, you also savor your speech by giving hand gestures. It adds more engagement to your speech, and that's a good start for making your Toastmaster journey. That's why I think based on your story, we cannot take things for granted, right? As we have that TNC without having a small asterisk. However, for further improvement, I want to suggest you to pay attention more to these 2 aspects. First, it's opening. You can try to open your speech by it's not giving an order, but just like invite people to be in your speech. Like, perhaps you can try this. Imagine you almost go home by foot because of your clumsiness. You make a decision that makes you almost broke. Perhaps that you can try that in the next speech. And the last one is, I think it will be way better if you have a distinctive closing too. You can throw a question like, can you omit those terms and conditions even though they are written in small size? That's something that you can try in the next speech. And last but not least, I think it's quite insightful, your tips and your personal story, your hand gestures, and also please remember to create that distinctive opening and closing in your speech. So you can just a little make a scene. I just want to congratulate you once again for completing your speech. And since I know that you try really hard to adjust your speech with the theme and word of the day, I do really want to appreciate your efforts for that and can't wait to look forward to witnessing your next speech, Toastmaster Rini.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dwi. Very insightful for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dwi, for having delivered your evaluation to Toastmaster Rini. I hope that this evaluation will both benefit you and Toastmaster Rini. Up next, earlier we have witnessed a speech, and particularly for me, I really learned a great lesson from him because we were taught to be consistent. And then he was furtherly sharing his achievement by being a consistent. Such a consistency shared in a consistent speech. And then this speech delivered, Toastmaster Agung will be evaluated by Toastmaster Hani. Toastmaster Hani, are you there?
Yes, I
Well
am
then,
here.
thank you so much. I'm sorry I have interrupted you. So Toastmaster Hani, the stage is yours. Please, hearten Toastmaster Agung.
Run when you can. Walk if you have to. Crawl if you must. Just never give up. By Dian Carnezes. Well, once again, I want to congratulate for Toastmaster Agung to complete first his project Icebreaker. Ladies and gentlemen, this quote inspired from Toastmaster Agung that, as we know, he always ran for his journey and never stopped. As we know, the journey since 2020, we saw it when he fell down, he lost his job and lost his way. He always know how to get up again. Keep struggling, try to learn and develop his skill until he get job again and got your fourth virtual runner champion. Us to keep it up. And I can explain what I like from your speech. You might excel it. First, confidence. When you introduce yourself with your story at the first, I see it. You have more confidence level and I didn't saw you feel nervous. It was awesome, Toastmaster Agung. You keep it up. And the second, the audience awareness. At the end, you encourage all of us to keep fighting. So it's what inspired us to bring us a keep spirit, just don't give up, like your speech. And I want to give you some recommendation in the next speech project. Your hand gesture. When every word in your speech, you bring it real calm and relaxed, and you did it well. When you already have a good hand gesture during your speech, you nail it. I like if you might try to positioning your camera zoom until your chest, perhaps if you feel comfortable, and look so we can look clearly your hand gesture during your speech. And your facial expression, your spoken language is clear. When you said, I lost my job, I lost weight. This word fell it down, I can feel it too. And I like if you must try to bring your face and your eye to down, like I lost my job, I lost weight. It make us feel it deep, more deep, feel it to your speech expression clearly. And once again, congratulations for Toastmaster Agung. You are the champion and keep fighting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, DM Hani.
Oh my goodness. I am so sorry for having interrupted you, Toastmaster Agung. I am really sorry about that. Thank you, Toastmaster Hani. I was able to feel your emotion when you delivered that evaluation. You were able to turn that evaluation to a storytelling. That was so wonderful. Personally, I hope that I will be able to be evaluated by you in the next few meetings, probably. Okay, up next, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, I would like to remind you that we are still opening the chance for us to vote for our favorite prepared speech. You can find Toastmaster Densia in the chat box, and there is a link that you can click, and there you can vote for your favorite speakers. So please, if you haven't voted yet, do so immediately. Now, back to the laptop. Up next, we have witnessed Toastmaster Mahar, who have shared personal story about his life with his furry friends. And then we were able to know that he was unable to cheat on dogs. Even though he lived with a cat, he ended up still loving dogs more. So Toastmaster Mahar will be evaluated by Toastmaster Tias. Toastmaster Tias, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tias. Well then, it is your time to shine. Toastmaster Tias, please hearten Toastmaster Mahar.
Congratulations, Toastmaster Mahar, in delivering Icebreaker Speech tonight and sharing your story, a heartfelt experience with your dog and cat. As a dog lover and not really like cat myself, your story is very relatable to me. So I want to share some good points from your speech. So the first thing is that you start your speech with a question on the opening that will attract the audience to pay more attention to your speech. And you also providing data and information to complete the question. The second thing, you have a good speech structure from the opening with the questions and then the body with sharing some issue and how you finally handle it. And lastly, also the closing and the summary. The third thing is when delivering speech, I like that you bring your personal story and I can see that you delivered the speech calmly and relaxed and using the hand gesture to emphasize some points in your story. There are also some points that I would like to suggest to Toastmaster Mahar that may improve your speech in the future. So the first is during your speech, I can see that you may fit your speech into your laptop. I think it's okay because I sometimes do that too, but maybe you can manage to have more eye contact to your audience. And the second thing, on your closing statement, I feel that you can have sharper closing statement or maybe call to action. For example, after you mention about taking the quiz, maybe you can say, what about you? Are you dog or cat person? Please share with me and let's get to know each other better. Maybe something like that. And the future, I would like to challenge Toastmaster Mahar to have better eye contact to the audience and also use more various tone to his speech. Overall, Toastmaster Mahar's speech is heartening. How our furry friends could be a very good companion during the difficult time, and from his story, we're able to know Toastmaster Mahar's personality better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Tias, for having shared with us your calm delivery on evaluating Toastmaster Mahar. We really hope that this evaluation will be both beneficial for both of you. Thank you. Up next, we have witnessed a speech that honestly started with the bad jokes, independent bank. I was caught off guard, to be honest. But overall, he was able to deliver a speech where he replicated his conversation on the phone so well. And I congratulate Toastmaster Alfin for that. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Yun initially, but due to some things, we will be welcoming an impromptu evaluator instead which is the SCBD Club President, Toastmaster Garda. Toastmaster Garda, are you here?
Hello, G, I'm here.
Yes, thank you for your confirmation. So Toastmaster Garda, the screen is yours. Please hearten Toastmaster Alfin.
Thank you so much. Hold on a second. Okay. Because you're hot and you're cold, you're yes and you're no. Hold on a second. That was Katy Perry, but what I heard today was actually Toastmaster Alfin's speech on his second speech in Toastmasters. Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations, Toastmaster Alfin. You're heartening all of the audience today, including myself, because what I could learn from your speech that you truly embodied your path of dynamic leadership. That were the two things what I liked about your speech, that you were dynamic in delivering your speech with an engaging opening with some kind of dead jokes that I could personally relate with that kind of jokes. And second of all, with that engaging storyline that everyone could follow with the conversation that you provided on your speech. And also, the second point is that the leadership that you embodied with the confidence level of yourself, that your expression and gesture exactly said it all. With moving around, you know your space, that it doesn't and it didn't limit you as a speaker. And also that you successfully made yourself under the spotlight, that you heartened all of us with your storyline. And as this is your second speech in Toastmasters, there are so many things that you could improve as a speaker. And also, there are two things that I could provide to you for your consideration. The first one and the second one have the bottom line of being mindful. The first one will be being mindful with your self-positioning. I understand that you were so dynamic and so eager with providing your energy. But if you could provide yourself with a good self-positioning, like your distance with the screen and also moving around and be mindful with your screen limit, that would benefit you more in giving more emphasis on your speech. And the second one, be mindful with selecting the storyline or capturing the conversation. I noticed that throughout your speech, there are three parts in giving the conversation: on the first half, second half, and also at the conclusion. Please be mindful that adding more conversation to one speech could be confusing for the audience to capture and to digest what would be the stories of the speaker would about to say. So if I may suggest, you would consider to focus on the first half of your speech with that conversation. And also at the remaining part, you could also emphasize on the message. Start with a no and with a yes. And if you could combine all of this together, I believe you will be a better speaker. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Garda, for having begun your speech with a song. Really something that I missed when I was still a guest in SCBD Toastmasters, and I really have a good time remembering the old times. Up next, we have witnessed a masterful presentation of dice handling or coin. Okay, whatever object it is, by Toastmaster Sony. Well done on that. So Toastmaster Sony will be evaluated by Toastmaster Aryo. Toastmaster Aryo, are you there? Toastmaster Aryo, are you there?
Wait,
Okay.
hold on a second. There is
Okay.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Now you are ready. That is really great to hear. So Toastmaster Aryo, you will be evaluating Toastmaster Sony. Toastmaster Aryo, the stage is yours. Please hearten Toastmaster Sony.
Hey, of failure in each, but with more practice and perseverance,
we can reduce the risk and enhance the rate of success. My fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I learned from Toastmaster Sonny's wonderful and fabulous speech. Well, not to mention his wrong calculations of failure, because 100 minus 16 is around 70%, not more than 80%. There are 4 points that I like to emphasize from my observations throughout the speech of Toastmaster Sonny. And since Toastmaster Sonny is our beloved fellow member of SCBD Toastmasters that has marketed our brand of SCBD Toastmasters Club, well, I'll highlight the evaluations with the acronym SCBD. The first one is S, storyline. I really love how Toastmaster Sonny created the storyline from the beginning through the end. For example, at the beginning, he gave us an illustrations about the probability of success with the dice. And then he developed this story saying that if we do nothing, the probability of success is obviously definitely 0. But throughout the more practice and then perseverance and then with gathering with people with same interests or communities, we can reduce the risk and then increase the probability of success, like from 1/6 with dice to 1/2 with the coin. That's a very well-rounded storyline. I do really love it so much. The second thing that I highlight from my observation is C, which is combination of hand gestures. I do realize that Toastmaster Sonny has a very good intention to use hand gestures as a way of communications to complement the main message that he wants to deliver. However, I found that Toastmaster Sonny to some extent overused the hand gestures. It might be better if Toastmaster Sonny used the hand gestures to give a little more taste to the speech. Just like when you're cooking foods, if you put so much ingredients, too much spices, the taste will not be as good as if you put it at the right measure. The third one is the B, which is bolder voice. I realized that Toastmaster Sonny has different type of voice with me or with other persons, but if you can try to have a bolder voice in delivering the message, it can make the engagement with audience to become more stronger. I realized that at the beginning, he started it with quite good, but in the middle, it's going down because the voice tones, and it goes up again at the end. And last is D, which is dice, the property. I do really love it so much. So SCBD, storyline, combination, bolder voice, and dice as the property. I love it so much and looking forward for your next endeavors. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aryo, for having presented us with the acronyms. Really love the creative presentation. I really hope to see more of your evaluation in the next few meetings. Up next, we have witnessed a speech about a certain characteristic of a human, which is being choleric. And as much as I don't like excessively choleric person, I also don't like excessively cholesterol content in my blood. So let us welcome Toastmaster Bonaventure from Misompuru Toastmasters Club to evaluate Toastmaster Yanda. Toastmaster Bonaventure, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes, thank you for your confirmation, Toastmaster Bonaventure. So you will be evaluating Toastmaster Yanda once again. So let me welcome you to the stage. Toastmaster Bonaventure, please hearten Toastmaster Yanda.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Let us give a heartened clap and applause to Toastmaster Yanda for delivering and successfully giving out the speech, delivering the speech. There are 4 things I like that he excelled so much on. First, his audience engagement was impeccable. He started off with a question, and that already hooked me. Second, he has a great pace The pace of his delivery was consistent all throughout. And the third thing is that his eye contact. He has always this eye contact on the camera. And it made me as if he is personally looking at me. And the last thing that I liked that he excelled on was that he has the introduction, body, conclusion structure in his speech, the sandwich method. I love these 4 things that he excelled on. You might, however, need to work on 2 things. But anyway, this is just only my observation. 2 things that you might want to work on is you vary your intonation. You would not have to maintain the same tone all throughout, but vary it along the speech. If you are having a conversation, or in your speech you have a conversation, make it as if there are 2 persons in the conversation and vary your intonation. The second thing is that do move from left to right, and this is to just differentiate the points in your speech. If you were to move from one to the next, left to right, it would bring the difference in the points that you are bringing out. I like to challenge you, however, that you are using a virtual background. Since you're using the virtual background, be selective on the virtual background you use. To be more effective, maybe you could even vary the virtual background that you're having to suit the mood of your speech. Now, let me summarize. There are 4 things you excel on: your audience engagement, because you ask question, great pace, great eye contact. You have a good sandwich method structure in your speech. There are 2 things that you might want to work on: vary your intonation, move from left to right to differentiate and to separate the points that you're bringing out in your speech. And lastly, I would like to challenge you by just varying your virtual background to suit the mood of your speech. With that, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bonaventure, for the insightful evaluation. I hope that Toastmaster Yanda will be able to learn everything there is to it from Toastmaster Bonaventure's evaluation. Up next, we have witnessed a comprehensive speech about a journey of a young club named Nisampuru Toastmasters Club. The speech was delivered by Toastmaster Bonaventure, and now he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Reza from Essential Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Reza, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Toastmaster Reza. It's really good to see you here. Thank you for your attendance. Now, Toastmaster Reza, you will be evaluating Toastmaster Bonaventure. Toastmaster Reza, the screen is yours. Please hearten Toastmaster Bonaventure.
Toastmaster Bonaventure, congratulations, because initially I thought that your project was going to be something about theater or something about that exploits body language, but it's always fun to expect the least, because as it turned out, I learned so many things from your leadership experience and your past Toastmasters experience. So 2 things that I love from Toastmasters Bonaventure speech, right? Number 1, how relevant and informational his speech was. The truth was, at first, I was not heartened because it was very depressive to be reflected. I came to other club Toastmasters to escape from my problems in my club Toastmasters, only to find out that turns out we all had the same problems. But as the speech progressed, I noticed that as it turns out, Toastmaster Bonaventure really knows his audience. Notice how he actually introduced the problem that we all encounter, to the point that Toastmaster Melanie actually felt that, confirmed that it's also her problem. That's how amazing that speech resonates to other audience as well. Second thing that I love was how subtle and intentional his body language was. If there's one thing that I totally loved from your assignment was that it was very intentional. It was demonstrated from your body language in terms of hand gestures. You put the numbers, you position your hand quite firmly. It was not distractive. It was not theatrical. Well, it was very good. It was just perfect. Not to mention that you also have a stable and powerful voice. Now, this is very important because notice how his voice, fellow Toastmasters, how his voice lead us to engage us to his content, to his structure, to his substance, and actually understand his decision to actually choose which decisions that he eventually take from his problems in his past Toastmasters. Now, how do we make this already amazing performance to be more amazing? I have two suggestions. Number one, wider visual spectrum. Now, I'm going to clarify into two parts. Number one, I think that because it's too informational, to the point that it has a lot of information, I would say that perhaps you would want to consider visual aids so that it helps the audience to grasp the information just a little bit better. And two, the second part of the first suggestion was play around with distance and volume. You could just move this close and lower your voice to make it more intimate or stress other points. Just give a different kind of variety, because at the end, it's also about body language, your project. And the second suggestion that I would like to give was the message. Now, it was very powerful how you started. Is it going to be right or left? I would totally going to love that more had you planted eventually in the end. Was it eventually the left or the right? And what are the stakes? What are the consequences? And I would really prefer if you just choose one message so that we could be more hooked and enjoy your experience all in all. So to conclude, while yes, Toastmasters Bonaventure might need to work on to wider spectrum and focus on one message, but it was still informational and intentional body language. And I was actually very, very heartened by the end of the performance. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Reza. Your evaluation really sounded like a melody in my ear as you have masterfully present how you will use vocal variety in your evaluation. What a job well done. And I hope that Toastmaster Bonaventure will be able to learn a lot from your evaluation. Up next, last but not least, we have witnessed a speech essentially about the art of apologizing. Truly a really exemplary example of a husband who has to apologize constantly to his wife. I hope not so. We have witnessed Toastmaster Raki's speech, and now he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Astri from Universitas Indonesia Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Astri, are you there?
Yeah, am I audible and visible?
Yes, Toastmaster Astri, good to see you. You are audible and you are visible. Now, I'm so sorry. Now, Toastmaster Astri, you will be evaluating Toastmaster Raki. So, Toastmaster Astri, the stage is yours. Please hearten Toastmaster Raki.
Life is like a roller coaster. And so thank you very much, Toastmaster Raki, to give us the story of your roller coaster in your office. So thank you so much for sharing it for us. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raki. And I believe you already succeed in delivering the speech and also finishing the project of understanding conflict resolution because you did it well. Congratulations, Toastmaster Raki, for delivering a very good speech and also finishing this project. And I observed several things from your speech. My first observation is about your delivery and also the message. I believe you already have a very good phrase like life is a roller coaster, and also you also have a good clarity in every word that you deliver to us, so we can catch every word that you delivered. However, there is only one thing. You didn't maintain your eye contact. So we don't feel that you talk to us. I mean, eye contact is very important because when a speaker maintain the eye contact, the audience feel that you talk to us. But when you didn't maintain your eye contact, maybe we don't interested in your speech because you not talk with us. So next time, please maintain your eye contact. Just show your camera when you talk to us online. So that's the first thing for you, Toastmasters Raki. And then the second, you use the acronym vocab key in your speech. I think that's very good. That's brilliant. You got the vocab key as the tips for solving the problem. However, Toastmaster Raki, you only put it at the end of your speech. And I think it's like a different story of your own story and also the tips. I think it will be more strength if you want to put it in your own story. I mean, if after you said about your problem, I mean, your colleague problem in the office, you might say that maybe we could solve it with the vocab tips. The first one, the V, I will do it, this, and then going to the FOCAB and all the things that you deliver as you elaborate more the problem with your key. So at the end, you can also say that, and yes, this vocab key is successfully solved the problem in my office. So you can demonstrate us to use the vocab key. So you will give us the more impactful speech when you can give us the tips and you can elaborate it more. And I think it's only that for you, Toastmaster, is lucky because you already did great. I think you only need to find the detail about your speech, but all in all, you are a great speaker. So I looking forward for your next roller coaster. Thank you. Back to you, GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Astri, for the really smooth delivery of your evaluation. I hope that Toastmaster Raki will be able to learn a lot from your evaluation. Now, we have reached an end of the evaluation session. And before we go to the general evaluation session, I would like to invite our timer to give his time report. Toastmaster Wira, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, GE. Unfortunately, only TM Dwi is ineligible. The rest are eligible.
Thank you, Toastmaster Wira. So we now have 7 contenders in order for us to vote in our best evaluator voting session. Now, while we wait for the ballot to be cast by our Vice President of Education, we will continue to the general evaluation session. First of all, I would like to invite our language evaluator, as known as the Grammarian, to step on the stage and educate us on how we use the language in the whole meeting. So, Toastmaster Yusuf, are you there?
I'm here. Everyone can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and you are looking so splendid tonight. Now, Toastmaster Yusuf, you may now begin to deliver your Grammarian session.
Congratulations, everyone, not only the speaker, not only the evaluator, but every one of us. We're going to cross the line, the finish line of tonight speakathon. And just like people doing marathon, one finish is not enough. You're going to fix all your techniques, your strength and endurance to make better and better record. And this time, I'm going to help all my best for the language areas of the speech. So from tonight's speech, there are several areas that I identified that we together can address both for our speech and everyone other's speech. So first is about the grammar. I heard about there's a conditional sentences where it's actually a future kind of like a tense, future kind of like sentence, but still using something that is not future. So for example, if I got job, then I would. It should be if I get a job, then I will, because it's in the future. And I think the second one is quite common for us Indonesian, especially is selections of the form of the verbs, when the verb should be an original form or with ing or with ed. And also for interest in time, I just summarize everything. The last one will be the selections of words. For example, it will help us from avoiding trouble. It should be, it will help us avoiding trouble. Always the wrong in front of, always become the wrong one in front of. So I think that summarized my grammarian report, and I will end it with the words of the evening. If you face the awkward, you will get the word from Toastmaster Alfin. This is very great word of the evening. Back to you, general evaluators.
Thank you, Toastmaster Yusuf, for having delivered such a comprehensive language lesson. We hope that in our next meetings, we will be able to develop our language skills better and in turn deliver a better speech combined with the evaluation you got before. Now, we would like to hear how many times we use the filler words, how many times we use the words of the day, and we will be having Toastmaster Tika to have a report on that. Toastmaster Tika, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and we can see you well. Now, Toastmaster Tika, we welcome you to deliver your report.
Okay. So thank you, GE, my fellow Toastmaster and guests. I'm amazed with all the speakers and my notes on the filler words and word of the day will be your reference in developing your communication skills. I did my best to take all the noted, but if you think there is a discrepancy, please let me know. Okay, so for the prepared speech session, most of the speaker already say the word of the day, and most of the words that are saying is so, and for some speakers, they also still have a long pauses, but I think this is a very common and can be improved in the next session. And for the evaluator session, we heard some of repeated words, but yeah, from the evaluator already said the word of the day. So yeah, I think all the speakers and the evaluator really did a great job on this speakathon session. Thank you. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tika, for having noticed how we use the filler words and the words of the day. We really appreciate that you have observed all of us, and I hope that we will all be more aware in order to use the filler words and be more proactive in using the words of the day. Really well done, everyone. Please give a big round of applause for all of us. Now I believe it is my turn to give my report. And to be honest, SCBD Club is one of my most respected clubs that I have ever been. So I am really honored that I have got the chance to evaluate you. So disclaimer on, please do notify me if there is any of my evaluation that isn't suitable for you. Now then, let us start. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, when I hear the word marathon, I always thought that marathon is simply an exhausting thing. If you run, you will be exhausted physically. If you have a hackathon, you will be exhausted mentally. But here we are in a CBD speakathon. I was not exhausted at all. In fact, I was able to see a lot of speakers who have delivered a lot of interesting topics. So really well done on that. And not to mention that we also have a lot of evaluators with a lot of different styles as well. We have a calm evaluator, we have an informative evaluator, we have a singing evaluator, and we also have an evaluator with creative way to use abbreviations. Really well done on that. These small things really makes SCBD Club's meetings really, really colorful. Now let's start to the positive aspects of your meetings. I really like how you delivered the beginning of your meeting with a thorough information on Toastmasters International Club, the use of the slides, the use of the vocal variety, how Toastmaster Garda as the club president delivered the information was really well done. And I really learned a lot on how to present the slides to our guests. Not to mention that the Toastmaster of the meeting, Toastmaster Melanie, really does well by recapping each speech from each participant. This helps a lot by making the speakers feel listened, because I hate to admit that in other clubs, there are rarely Toastmasters of the meetings who recap each speech, especially in the speakerthon where we have to listen to a lot of speeches. Well done, Toastmaster Garda and Toastmaster Melanie. You can be proud of yourself. How to make this already wonderful meeting even better in the future? Well, first of all, when we want to hold a special event like a speakerthon, then you may want to implement a theme in the meeting. And you have done well in implementing the theme in the invitation, in the overall theme of the meeting, but you may want to work on a background, for example. So you have a virtual background for everyone. You may want to make them uniform, and then we may be able to feel the hype more on the meeting. Just like what I experienced from last week in Phoenix Toastmasters, we had a meeting about Harvest Moon. So all of us were cosplaying as the Harvest Moon characters. That was such a fun meeting that I hope that we'll be able to implement it on the SCBD Toastmasters. And then if we are having a long session of speeches, then I would advise having a break session, because listening really takes a toll on our mind, and some little breaks, a coffee break, a toilet break, will be able to help us to regain our focus. Overall, a really great meeting. I am really happy to be back here. And then before I end this meeting, I would like to invite everyone to unmute yourself, because I want to close this with a quote, a two-part quote. So if I have already said the first part of the quote, I want you to say cakep, because this is a pantun. Are you ready, everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let us begin, yeah. The wonderful meeting is ending already. If you liked it, come again to SCBD. Thank you, everyone. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, General Evaluator.
Yeah, well done, Toastmaster Wilson. So would you like to join our club as a member too? No, I'm just kidding. So I'm talking to another vice president of membership from another club. So because I know that you really love us. So, and thank you for being a general for tonight's meeting. And everyone, today I realized that SCBD Toastmasters Club is very fortunate to have members and friends who heard amazing, awesome, and ageless speeches tonight. Though the projects are the same, Icebreaker Speech, we have the understanding communication style, the evaluation and feedback, the speeches are way different from one another. So I hope this speakathon will I hope that through this speakathon, we continue to hearten everyone with our speeches in the future. So before we end our meeting, let us call now our ballot caster. How do you, Toastmaster Dentia.
Thank you, Toastmaster Melanie. Are you ready, everyone, to find out who is the most favorite prepared speech speaker and evaluator? Okay, let me just reduce the volume. Hold on, yeah. Can you see the screen? Can you hear the back sound?
Yes, yes.
All right, so let's announce the Hall of Fame of Speakathon tonight. For the, sorry, English. For the prepared speech session, the nominees are, okay, 8 of them. And the winner goes Toastmaster Sony. Woo! Congratulations. And the evaluation session, the nominees are, I keep the pictures of everyone because everyone deserves to have a highlight here. And the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Aryo! Congratulations! Wow, this is a pair of speakers and evaluators. All right, so everyone, if you'd like to know more about our club or to maybe ask something about Toastmaster in general, don't hesitate to contact Toastmaster Melanie, our VP of Membership. This is the number, and you can also follow our Instagram and YouTube channel. I guess that's all from me. Back to you, Toastmaster Melanie.
Oh, thank you, Toastmaster Dentia, and congratulations to our back-to-back winners. So I'll give now the control to our president, to Varda.
All right, thank you so much, our Tom, GE, and all what is it called? Our marathoners of the prepared speech speakers and also individual evaluators. Again, let's give all of us a round of applause, my fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. So I know that we are running out of time because we are overdue, but I would like to hear some of the voices particularly from our guests. Can I have Fina?
Yes, hi. Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hello, good morning, have a good evening. How are you, Sundipita Toastmaster Fina?
Yeah, I'm great. I'm doing great. How are you?
Thank you so much. You are doing well as well. And so how did you find our meeting today?
Well, I think it's very interesting, but I think there are some rules here. So I think I'm still keeping up with everything because it's kind of totally new for me.
Okay, so is this your first time in any Toastmasters meeting?
No. Once I attended Toastmaster SCBD as a guest as well, but it was kind of probably a year ago.
I see.
Yeah.
Was it during the physical meeting in SCBD area or during the
So
virtual?
it must be it's not a year ago. It must be like 2 years ago before COVID. So that's the offline meeting.
I see. So thank you so much for your enthusiasm for coming to our meeting today. Well, definitely. Thank you so much. And we definitely look forward to seeing you again next Friday.
Okay.
Thank you, Fina. Stay safe and be well.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you. And also one more thing. Since we have our visiting Toastmaster from Malaysia, can I have Toastmaster Bonaventure and also the president of Nisampuru Toastmasters Club?
Thank you, President SCBD. Thank you very much. The last time we met was, I think it was about 2 years back or thereabouts. And I think you have progressed leaps and bounds. I think the way you present yourself as well I think it reflects on all your members. They are enthusiastic. I could see that everybody has that welcoming, the attitude that is, come, we are here to help you, that kind of attitude. And it's very approachable and I love it. And the very first time I logged in, even though I was slightly late, but I was already being welcomed. So I think it's great. And I wouldn't mind to bring in my members to come here and visit us to deliver a speech maybe, or even as guests. Over to you, President.
Thank you so much, President Bonaventure. I still remember last year, and I do still remember that you were my evaluator when I delivered my speech. And thank you so much. Yes, definitely, we are welcoming your members. And please inform us about your club meetings to the chat box so that we can also get to acknowledge your club meeting schedule so that our members can also make a visit to your club. And also for other visiting members from other clubs, you may also provide your club schedule into the chat box so that we can also visit your club in the upcoming meetings. Thank you, Toastmaster Bonaventure. Stay safe and be well. So before I adjourn this meeting, there is something that I would like to announce, to give for the announcement to our members, but in particular. So this is specifically for our SCBD Toastmasters members. finally, the moment that we have been waiting for is finally here. We are recruiting soon the Standing Committee of SCBD Toastmasters 2021-2022. So we are currently seeking the best candidates who could contribute actively to the club's success. We will provide additional information regarding this standing committee into our WhatsApp group, so stay tuned. And for more information, you can directly ask any of the executive committee for more insightful sessions with regard to this. And also, don't forget to renew your membership. Otherwise, Toastmaster Melanie and Toastmaster Hani, well, I believe they are more than just happy to give you such a bomb tax, or sorry, a tax bomb, or giving you a call, even if they eat the late midnight. Just kidding. Okay, I think that is all from me. After this, please stay in the room because we are having an after meeting session, so everyone can also have a networking session regarding anything of Toastmasters or any other things. So with that being said, with the sound of this reflex hammer, I hereby adjourn this meeting. That's the sound, so happy weekend, everyone.
Happy weekend!
Happy weekend.
Weekend. Thank you.